Hello, Jeff Brozovich here with LongRangeOnly.com with another gear review. Today what we're going to be taking a look at is the universal bipod spikes. This is made for the Harris type bipods or Harris clones by Morse Industries. So we're going to do a little bit of go over here on how to put them on and what they'll do for you after they're installed. So hang around, let's have a look. So first we'll go over a little bit about the installation of the bipod spikes. Morse Industries tells us that these are universal. So not only do they fit the very popular Harris, but they're supposed to fit Harris clones or anything made like the Harris. I happen to have a Harris wannabe laying around. I did mic the leg diameter, and it was the same leg diameter as the Harris. So as they stated, it should fit a lot of the aftermarket Harris clones. That leg diameter just happened to be, I mic'd it out as 0.3755, so that's real close to 3/8. So I guess if you're running around a 3/8 leg diameter, you should be in good shape here. So to start the installation, what I recommend doing is I took a block of wood, I drilled a hole straight down in it. What that hole is going to do is going to allow the roll pin a place to go as you drive it out, and the block of wood is also going to supply firm support underneath so we can knock the roll pin out. I also, because of this little register that they have on the rubber feet and on the aluminum ones, the spikes, I cut a little groove there just kind of to rest that in, just kind of slopped it in there with a drill bit, but it gave me a place for that pin to go when I drove it out. So you want to drive your pin out, save your pins, you're going to reuse them. The rubber cap, the rubber foot just pulls right off. And I usually extend my leg out while I'm working on one so it's out away from all the other stuff and doesn't get in the way. Makes it a little easier, removes the spring tension and things like that. After you get your rubber feet off and you've retained your pins, then you simply slide the Morse bipod spike on there. Again, extend it out, push that spring back a little bit if you need to. Line up your holes, start your pin. I'll drop in some pictures here kind of as we go along to describe this here and to kind of show you a visual of it. Start your pin in, make sure your pin gets aligned with the hole in the bipod leg. Drive it on through, and you'll notice that your pin is going to be a little bit too long. So you're going to have a little bit of the pin protruding on each side of the spike once it's installed. Okay, so now let's go over the conditions and uses and reasons we would want a spike on the end of our bipod. Obviously, different surfaces are going to have different effects on how the bipod works. Hard surfaces, the rubber, you know, it may be okay, but I really don't recommend using bipod on hard surfaces anyway. If you're on a concrete bench or a real hard surface like that, a bipod's not the best scenario. The bipods are made to go prone. Anything where it can slide or you know, it's just not a good scenario. Put it on bags, get it on or a shooter's rest or whatever if you must shoot off a bench. But for us guys that don't use benches, like myself, we're in the dirt prone all the time. If you're in the dirt prone, these legs, I guarantee you, will slide a lot easier. And we're going to go outside here in a minute, and I'm going to show you how that works, just how much resistance it takes to slide a leg as opposed to putting in the spikes in the ground. The spikes penetrating into rocky surfaces, you know, or soil like we have in Montana here with a lot of gravel and stuff, it's just a big plus. And why is it a plus? We'll go over this again outside, like I said, but once you get in shooting position and you want to put a little forward motion to take the slack out between your buttstock of your rifle and your bipod, and you start moving forward, you don't want that thing inching away from you. Especially if you're on a downhill shot or something, you need all the traction you can get here to be able to remove the slack and get firmed up on your stock. And how does that help? That not only helps with accuracy of the shot, but I promise you, it's going to extremely help you in your follow through and being able to spot your hits at long range through the rifle scope. So with all that said, we're going to grab a rifle, we're going to go outside here, we're going to get down in the dirt, and we're going to do a short demonstration just to kind of show you how they react with the spikes in a soil surface for a prone position shot. Okay, so we decided to do a little test here, little makeshift deal I rigged up to try to give you an idea what we're talking about here. We're out here, we're in rocky shale type soil like we commonly have in Montana. I think the results are going to be the same on just about any type of loose soil surface you'd be on, whether it be nice sod or like I say, rocky, shaly stuff like we have in Montana. But what we're going to do here is we're going to see what kind of resistance it takes to move the rifle. I was going to demonstrate it by just getting behind and pushing on the gun, but that doesn't give you any hard facts as to what we're talking about here. So I got my scale, and I just set the rifle up so it's loosely in the ground there. I'm going to turn my scale on and hook up to a piece of rawhide here and see when the rifle moves at what poundage. So as I start pulling forward, we're at 4 pounds. There it's given. So at 8 and a little over 8 pounds, the rifle started sliding. That's pretty good, but when you consider the weight of the rifle, you got to add that in. So really, after the weight of the rifle, it isn't taking much. So let's put the spikes on and see how much it helps. I changed out to the bipod with the spikes. They're pretty much the same bipod as far as dimensions, so it should give us an accurate indication. I got my bag, same spot, I'm in the same soil as we were before. I'll put my scale on here and we'll start pulling. I'm going to pull straight up the barrel just like I did on the other one. There it gave just a little bit. I'm well over 12 pounds. It's not going anywhere. So that gives you some idea of what it helps as far as preloading forward on the bipod. So let's talk about, let's go into some other things that might help that we can do here to demonstrate. Okay, so we talked about the downhill shot. This is a shot that we often inquire when we're out hunting in the mountains, especially out west. So we're set up for a downhill shot. We've got the rubber feet back on, and I just want to kind of show you as I start to creep up on my rifle and I start to preload my bipod. As you can see, it's walking down the hill. Not what you want. I guarantee you if you make this shot, the accuracy is going to be marginal and you will not see through that scope when that gun goes off. It will leave your target. Alright, so we swapped out the bipod to the spikes. Let's try that same shot again. We set up for our downhill shot, level up. As I start pushing on the rifle, I'm fully preloaded, harder than I even want to, and the bipod is not moving a bit. It's solid in the ground. I'm going to be able to make an accurate shot, and I'm going to be able to see my impact through the optic. Okay, so I hope those simple demonstrations were beneficial, show you why many of us, especially us out west that hunt long range, like spikes on our bipods. We shoot in the ground, we shoot in the dirt. We need a solid platform to be able to see through our optic under recoil. So that's what these have done for us as opposed to the rubber feet. So pretty much I can say that everything Morse Industries claim to be true. The installation is easy. If you have trouble getting these on, you can't drive a roll pin out, swap them over and drive the roll pin back in, you probably should step away from all firearms. So with that, I'm going to say they work just like they were claimed. We're going to be ordering some more of them for our other Harris bipods. For what we use them for, the spikes are awesome. They're a big advantage for us, especially in hunting applications. So this is Jeff Brozovich with LongRangeOnly.com. I'm going to wrap up this review. Hey, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can catch all our reviews. And for now, we'll just say goodbye and good hunting to you.